Hallo und willkommen zu Now German Lektion 51, Lesson 51. Hey, see.
Hello everyone. Hey Gregor.
So these and the next 9 lessons we talk about many things related to free time and hobby. It's a nice topic, isn't it?
Yes.
But fortunately, sometimes it rains, which is not ideal for our free time. What do you do when it rains?
I just stay at home, watch a movie, stay in the bed.
Sounds like a great plan. All
Yeah.
right, let's see what happens in our dialogue when it rains, or at least how to talk about it in the first place.
Wie ist das Wetter heute?
Es regnet. Die Temperatur ist 18 Grad.
Und wie ist das Wetter morgen?
Morgen ist es sonnig. Die Temperatur ist maximal 25 Grad.
Oh, super. Machen wir morgen ein Picknick draußen?
Gute Idee. All right, so we have wie,
Wie?
a classic question word, just how. And then das Wetter.
Das Wetter.
Yes, the weather. We see a lot of this in this lesson. And we have heute,
Heute.
today, and verb regnen.
Regnen.
That is, of course, to rain. And die Temperatur.
Die Temperatur.
That's the temperature. And we have der Grad.
Der Grad.
That's the degree. And mostly we use that in plural, but it's actually the same. And then it is, of course, die Grad.
Die Grad.
Yes. And in an English speaking context, you might think about Fahrenheit or whatever. But of course, in Europe and including in German, we always talk about degrees Celsius or centigrade. So if you don't specify, we always talk about degrees Celsius. And actually, this particular word, Grad, even I, as a native speaker, wasn't that sure about the gender without looking it up. So for this case, you can ignore the gender because we always use it together with a number and without a gender. And we have morgen.
Morgen.
That is tomorrow. And the opposite of rainy in some sense is sunny, which is sonic.
Sonic.
Yes. And maximal.
Maximal.
Yes, that is maximum in a kind of temperature sense as an adjective. And we have super.
Super.
That is great. And some more, we have machen.
Machen.
I think I can stop translating that soon. We see it in almost every lesson. That is to do or to make. And das Picknick.
Das Picknick.
Yes, of course, the picnic. We just add the letter K twice. Otherwise, it's the same as English. And 3 more words. One is draußen.
Draußen.
That is outside. And die Idee.
Die Idee.
That's the idea. And gute Idee.
Gute Idee.
Good idea. So we have a lot of new words, but they are all super similar to English, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, so they shouldn't be too hard to learn. Any questions about those?
I think all good.
Great, then let's go through our dialogue one more time.
Wie ist das Wetter heute?
Es regnet. Die Temperatur ist 18 Grad.
Und wie ist das Wetter morgen?
Morgen ist es sonnig. Die Temperatur ist maximal 25 Grad.
Oh, super. Machen wir morgen ein Picknick draußen?
Gute Idee. All right. And now let's look at some important weather terms. Some of them show up in the dialogue and also others don't, but this is good to know whenever you want to talk about the weather. So the very bright thing you see up there in the sky, how do we call that?
Sky.
No, the bright thing that's shining on us is the first word here on the list.
Sunny. Die Sonne.
Is called die Sonne.
Die Sonne.
That is literally the sun. And one thing to note, in a lot of languages that have gender, like French, Italian, Spanish, whatever, the sun is always something masculine, and the German has it differently. It has the sun feminine, and it's exactly the other way around for the moon. We don't see that here, but it's an interesting cultural thing that in Latin languages, the moon is then feminine, and in German, the moon is masculine. So these are just flipped around in terms of gender. And that is die Sonne. And we have die Wolke.
Die Wolke.
That is the cloud. And der Regen.
Der Regen.
That is the rain. And then we have der Schnee.
Der Schnee.
That is the snow. And we can use descriptions for the weather for each of them. So if the sun shines, we can say, es ist sonnig.
Es ist sonnig.
And if it's cloudy, we can say, es ist bewölkt.
Es ist bewölkt.
And we have, es regnet.
Es regnet.
You could guess that is, it rains. And then if it snows, we say, es schneit.
Es schneit.
Yes, and also we often talk about temperature, so we can just say es sind and then Grad. So for example, right now, let me check. Right now here it's 7 degrees, so I can say es sind 7 Grad.
Es sind 7 Grad.
Yes, and I could specify it's plus 7 degrees, right? So I could say es sind plus 7 Grad. But it's kind of assumed that we mean plus if we say nothing, because that's the more common situation. But in winter, it could, of course, go below 0. And if it's minus 3, I could say es sind minus 3 Grad.
Es sind minus 3 Grad.
Yes, and what could I say just in general if it is cold?
Es ist kalt.
Yes, and the opposite?
Es ist heiß.
All right, makes sense?
Yes.
Then let's go look at our dialogue one more time.
Wie ist das Wetter heute?
Es regnet, die Temperatur ist 18 Grad.
Und wie ist das Wetter morgen?
Morgen ist es sonnig, die Temperatur ist maximal 25 Grad.
Oh, super. Machen wir morgen ein Picknick draußen?
Gute Idee. All right. Es regnet. And you see what they do in the dialogue is just they talk about the next day after when it is sunny again. Not the worst idea. What do you think?
Yes, completely agree.
All right. We hope you have great weather though, or if it rains, always a good chance to practice more German. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Tschüss.
Tschüss.